Welcome to the E-Love frequency. I'm so happy you're right here with me.
There's no place that I would rather be. That eternal love always is deep.
'Cause they be like, ooh, eternal love always. Welcome to the E-Love frequency podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's Jackal for Jackal Baby T. What's up, everybody? This is Jackal. Thank you for joining me on the Eli Frequency Podcast. You could have been anywhere in the world right now, but you took this time to spend it with me, and I appreciate that. So as not to waste it, let's get to it. What are we talking about? We talking about Jay-Z going on GQ and doing an interview. And, Memphis Bleak has a platform, and people are up in arms about why Jay-Z didn't go to Memphis Bleak platform. That's his man, and they trying to make Memphis Bleak feel bad because Jay-Z didn't go to his platform. He went to GQ instead. Let's hear what homeboy over Urban Politicians had to say about it, and then I get into it.
It makes it worse than what I was really trying to come across as is I would have liked to see Memphis Bleak get that interview in itself, because Jay-Z went over there to GQ, which is a platform that is corporate and it's been around forever, very big, massive. All of those things are correct, but other things that are correct, most definitely salute to the brother Summertime who got that interview over there. Salute to him, keep going up over there and things like that. I just said, let's get it to a point where both can be done, because we have these things and these platforms and interview different concepts in our culture now, and it would have been dope to see both. That's just what I'm saying with it. And then people came at me, he don't owe Jay-Z nothing. Then people telling me, Jay-Z don't owe him nothing. Bleak wouldn't even have a podcast without Jay-Z. How much do you want? I'm just thinking culturally. It wasn't just about Jay-Z. When I put it up, it was the whole culture as a whole. That's why I said nobody's above the program. I said even Drake. If you're going to go over there with them streamers who we just never heard of or never saw before, that's cool. But come holler at somebody else over here, and we know that boys ain't got an open script over there at GQ. They just sit down and say, ask me the hard-hitting questions, or y'all don't go over there and say, just ask me whatever y'all want to ask me. Nah, it's prepped and it's understood, which is fine. But I say, hey, give that look to one of the guys, and I felt like who better other than Memphis Bleak? It's day one. Somebody that love him, care about him, even if it didn't come out the best, it was going to do numbers regardless. See, people don't understand with me because I'm getting all type of disrespect. And I wasn't intended to go in that direction, because it ain't just about Jay-Z or Drake. It's about the whole culture. Like, hey, if you're sitting over there with them and things of that nature, but I've been doing media so long, y'all. People who come at me, they don't understand. I really be coming from the heart for the culture. Y'all don't really get it. So I'm light years ahead of a lot of y'all. Somebody told me, what moguls do podcasts? A lot of them. Magic Johnson, Oprah Winfrey, Diddy did them when he was free. Dr. Dre, do we need to keep going? Elon Musk, culture moguls from all different, they all have done podcasts. Several moguls have done podcasts, bro. Black moguls as well. They do podcasts and they do interviews. It's a choice. You don't owe nobody nothing. It's just people are going to give critiques at times when they see these type of things. So let's get that out the way. Also, we can talk about this right here. For me, this is just an opinion that I was having. I want to see the look for Memphis Bleak, because I know Jay-Z don't do interviews. He don't talk on camera no more. He don't have to. Jay-Z like 50-some years old now. So I can understand if he don't want to be on camera talking like that. But I'm like, if you're going to pop out this interview, podcast, media platform thing is something we fresh and new in. We still young in it, and we trying to build it up. I want to see people from this get that moment. Like, just keeping it 100. People who can talk in a different regard. And these people can say all this stuff, oh, GQ this, GQ that, GQ this. Hey, man, salute to GQ. But come over here and do one of these too. Not just for Jay-Z. That was for everybody. Nobody but a program, because of the simple fact, y'all ain't subscribed to GQ. Y'all didn't go watch that interview because it was on GQ. People tell me he did and the interview was back in January. It's cool. But we ain't waking up and going, man, what GQ posted. We not tapped into what GQ doing every day. We not reading them magazines, and we ain't reading them write-ups for real. I'm talking about the mass. Are there people that do? Yes, but the culture, we not looking at that. So I say, hey, we looked at it because Jay-Z was over there. Jay-Z bought us there. Jay-Z gonna bring us wherever he talking at. That's just what it is. Jay-Z could have interviewed with somebody on a block in Brooklyn that we never heard of. Once it got clipped up, reposted to them blogs and different things on Twitter, everybody was gonna go see it. As long as you could keep the conversation going long enough, it was going up. On that Memphis Bleak show, once it got posted, marketed to the blogs and things like that, it was going to do the same thing, bro. Everybody was going to be talking about it. The moments was going to be reposted, reshared, and by myself included. We going to come.
All right, man, enough of that. So it's a couple of things, man. So listen, I want to make myself clear about this, man, because like homeboy over at Urban Politicians, like I like him. I appreciate him. I go to him for a lot of my stuff, my content, my ideas about what I'm going to do because I'm new in the game. And he's obviously been doing it for some time, like he said. But sometimes I just vehemently disagree with him, man. And I disagree with him about this whole thing regarding Jay-Z. So he said, one of the things he said is, why can't he just do both? Like do the interview with GQ and do the interview with Memphis Bleak. Why? Why does, like, if you Jay-Z, why do you think just because you want Jay-Z to do something that you want him to do, that's what he should do? That's just what you want. Like, if I'm famous, I'm going to do the things that I want to do. I'm not going to do the things that you feel like you want me to do for my career. That don't even make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just keep going. You said culturally, nobody's above the program. You keep talking like you the culture. You keep talking like you the culture. Let me tell you something, homie. You may be the culture, but you ain't it. Jay-Z is the culture. I am the culture. It ain't just you and your thoughts and your opinions and what you talking about. That's the culture. That's part of the you are part of the culture. I'm part of the culture. Jay-Z is part of the culture. Matter of fact, way more a part of the culture than we are because of the level he's obtained. But that don't make us no less part of the culture though. But Jay-Z is part of the culture as well. So whatever Jay-Z is doing is the culture. You don't know what's on Jay-Z's fantasy bucket list. You don't, like, his bucket list could be, man, one day I want to be in GQ magazine because that's something they ain't really did. You don't know what his bucket list is. You understand what I'm saying? And you saying, well, he could do Memphis Bleak too. How do you know this man got time to do like 2 interviews? You said he don't even do interviews, right? How you know he got time to do 2 interviews? Do you understand what you don't even know his and Bleak's relationship. You assume you know. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. They definitely had a talk, a conversation, most likely, and Bleak knew he wasn't coming there. Or he gave Bleak an explanation of why he gonna go do it, where he gonna go do it at. Do you see the aesthetic behind that GQ? That was a professional shoot. He's at a level now where everything he does is like professional. He's taking the culture to a whole new level. And you talking about why can't he come back? You know, that's like people saying, man, you made it out the hood. Why don't you come back to the hood? Why don't you come back to the hood? Why don't you buy property in the hood? I don't got to do that. Like, it's cool if other people decide that's what they want to do, but I don't have to do what they want to do. I can do what I want to do. I can take Jay-Z, the first one I know, started talking about art, purchasing art, right? Nobody else wasn't doing it. So Jay-Z shouldn't have did it? No, he went his way to show y'all, hey, it's stuff over here we can come do too, man. Hey, let me show y'all this stuff over here that they trying to keep us from. Like, why do I gotta go do like Lil Hood podcasts? Tell me why I gotta do that. GQ has a professional worldwide reach. Yeah, people might come to Memphis Bleak podcast. But you know what other people gonna say when I go do Memphis Bleak podcast? Oh, man, he only did that because that's his boy, man. He could have went to Joe Budden. He should have went to like a real podcast, man. Memphis Bleak, his stuff is Man, he just started. He could have went to Joe and Jay. No matter what he do, y'all gonna complain about what he didn't do and what he could have did. And I think that's sad, man. So you said holla at somebody over here. He is the somebody that's over here. He came from where everybody over here came from. Why do you think it's his obligation to keep going back downstairs to see what's happening on the first floor? Can't he just keep going up the stairs to see what's up there? Can he do that? Can he take hip hop with him into these rooms that hip hop ain't always in and make it a normal thing? The football was not hip hop. Now, the Super Bowl is hip hop. He did that. See, like, y'all be complaining about the wrong stuff and say, y'all just be complaining about the wrong stuff. Let's accept what he decides to do because he's making his moves and his mark, not you. Why can't people just accept that? Cool, he was on JQ. That was a professional shoot. The aesthetics was nice. This is what he said. And that be that. Why he got to go do Memphis Bleak show? Like my best friend, right? My best friend, Dre. If we were both very successful, but he was like way more successful than me, but we both multimillionaires. And I'm doing a podcast like now. I would have no expectations that if he's going to do an interview, his first interview in 5 years, I would have no expectation that he does it with me. Why? Why should he do it with me? I'm new with this. No. Let me get my feet wet. Let me get my ducks in a row. Let me get some people up here so I can get used to asking the right questions and yada yada. Don't come up here yet. You can come up here anytime. But when you rolling something out, don't come up here. Go to the professionals. Do that. Let the rollout be right, man. I mean, you can come up here anytime. You can you can be retired and just not doing nothing one day, and you can come up here. Because we going to get the eyes. But by that time, I'll be used to doing this. I'll be familiar with this. Bleek only had like 6 interviews. Why would he have the expectation? And why would you have the expectation that he's going to go do his show? He only had like 6 interviews. You're brand new at this. You still learning things. You might lose the footage. The sound might not be right on the footage. It might be wasted footage. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of variables that go with that. It ain't just about doing something for your homeboy. We don't know what he's doing for his homeboy. And my homeboy don't gotta keep doing things for me. If I'm opening my own lane, my homeboy ain't gotta come here and put me on 10. No, I want to make that climb. I want to become the success myself. Now, if my homeboy want to come on it because he wants to get some looks from my thing, that's all good. But he ain't got to come help me build it. Like, come on, man. We adults. Memphis Bleak ain't Jay-Z's son. Jay-Z got kids and a wife. Why do y'all think he's beholden to some other man? Look, man, we cool. We best friends. We like brothers. But you ain't got to come here to hold my stuff up unless I'm asking you to do that. You understand what I'm saying? And then you say he didn't go to Memphis Bleak's restaurant. I can't say why that man didn't go. I don't know. But if you listen to everybody, they tell you that's how Jay-Z always been. So you have that expectation. You know that that's him. Like if you become like, perfect example, me. I'm kind of an asshole, right? But you know why I got one best friend? Because he knows that. And he's decided to accept that and deal with it accordingly. That's why we best friends. Because he knows who I am, truly. He know underneath all that is a genuine person who will always be loyal and down, you know what I'm saying, and gonna give him the truth, whether he wants it or not. If he don't want it, I just be silent. But if he want it, I'm gonna give it to him. And that's what he respects about me. Because ain't nobody else doing that. So why do you think, like, Jay-Z has to do something for this other man? Y'all gotta chill, man. Let's see. Give that look to one of the guys. Give what look? Like, if it's Memphis Bleak's job to get the looks he need. It ain't my job to give him the look. You know what I'm saying? He decided to do a podcast. You say that he ain't even want him to use the Rock name. No. Why? Even if my homeboy doing this thing, why would I want him to use my name? Do you understand what I'm saying? That means something go wrong, something go bad, blah, blah, blah. They gonna associate that with me. No, you gotta build what you building on your own. Unless we actually building something together, you gotta start from scratch, man. Like, you don't need no handouts. You don't need me to put my name on something for you to make it. No, you got to make it yours, and you'll be more proud of yourself once you do. Let's see what else he said. From the heart, from the culture, I want to see people, you want to see people from the culture get that moment. Listen, man, people got to get their own moments. It's fine if Oprah and Magic Johnson and all these other people, it's fine if they jump on podcasts and do this and that. So that means I got to do it now? If they all doing it, why I got to do it? You're already talking about a whole bunch of people doing it. Why I got to do what everybody else is doing? Why can't I do it the way I want to do it? Why can't I have a path that I see and then I take that path? I mean, just because you see me making a right here, don't mean I got to make a right. Nah. I mapped it out. I'm going straight. And you said, like, people don't tune in to GQ. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? People tune in to GQ. And then you say the culture. We don't. How are you speaking for a whole culture, homeboy? Like, come on, man. How are you speaking for a whole culture? It'd be different if you say, like, the people I know don't tune in to GQ. You know, Pac was in GQ. Like, hip hop has been a part of GQ forever. You know how fresh we be getting, like Outkast, Andre 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been getting fresh. Hip hop is a part of everything. So you can't say we don't look at GQ and we don't go over to GQ. You know how long GQ been around? Like, come on, man. Like, since we're talking about we gotta stop doing that. We gotta stop holding ourselves down, holding ourselves back, thinking that we have to do something for the other people who are in the culture so they can grow. No. Part of the culture is everybody going out doing their thing and making things that aren't the culture, making them the culture. GQ is the culture now. When we want it to be. Somebody from hip hop, Jay-Z can just call GQ and be like, hey, I want to do an interview. Yes. Yes, sir. That's the culture now. That's the power the culture got. Do you understand what I'm saying? If we just stick to things that we consider hip hop and all that, we would never grow. Then we make a call to GQ. They'll be like, we don't do that hip hop stuff. No. Once you get respected, you have to keep growing and spreading your wings and doing things that we don't do, going over horizons that we've never been before. You have to do that. Stop trying to hold people back. Who cares? So what, Magic Johnson, Oprah Winfrey, whoever. So what they doing it? So what? Who says Jay-Z couldn't do it later? Why he got to do it right now? Because you want him to? Instead of you wanting what you want, why not just sit back and see what his plan is? I mean, he's the one that's well established and famous and taking the culture places it ain't never been. So obviously he got a better game plan than maybe you might have. Because he's doing it. He's been successful at it. Memphis Bleak is new. He's just starting a podcast. The only reason to do Memphis Bleak's podcast is to help Memphis Bleak out. And we don't even know if Memphis Bleak wants that help. Y'all assuming they didn't have a conversation and Memphis Bleak wasn't like, Jay, nah, don't do mine yet. Like, I know I can always call you for a favor and you come through, but nah, on this rollout, this is huge. Nah, don't come to my platform. You talking about the culture. Jay-Z sells to people outside of the culture as well. Everybody, and you are wrong, in my opinion, everybody's not going to go find Jay-Z where he's doing an interview with Memphis Bleak podcast. Everybody's not going to find that. It's a whole lot of people outside the culture that ain't going to Memphis Bleak's podcast. That ain't going to go even if Jay-Z's doing an interview with him. Whole lot of people in the culture are going to go. But a whole lot of people outside of it ain't going to go there. Never heard of it. They ain't going to go there just to see a Jay-Z interview. Period. But those same people are familiar with GQ and they like going over to GQ because you got to understand something. There's a level of professionalism with some things. And once you get to that level of professionalism, certain people, that's where their eyes are. You got billionaires that subscribe to GQ. I'm just saying, billionaires, Fortune 500 company owners that subscribe to GQ, Vanity Fair, and you know what I'm saying? Like, those are the upper echelons. And those people will never go to a Memphis Bleak podcast or a Joe and Jada podcast. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's a point of fact. So sometimes you got to go where their eyes are. Sometimes you got to take hip hop, pick it up, put it on your back, and go bring it to them people. You know why? Because that's what's going to grow hip hop. That's what's going to set up deals for hip hop. That's what's going to make hip hop seen, because it is, but make other people see that hip hop is on the same plateau, the same level as everything else that your eyes are on in that upper echelon. Hip hop is up there. Yeah, you looking at GQ? It's hip hop. Sometimes we got to not keep going back. There are times to go back, but there are also times to ascend and keep moving forward. Jay-Z got his whole life to go back and do an interview with Memphis Bleak. They homeboys. Why I gotta be now? Nah. I'm finna do a rollout, man. I'm finna go to the biggest platforms. I don't expect everybody to be in the Coliseums that I'm gonna perform at to be just hip hop. I expect it to be some people in there who like Beyonce and think I'm her husband, and they come in to see what's going on. And they become hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to stop having that crab in the barrel mentality. Everything ain't about coming back to the culture. Some things is about expanding the culture, taking the culture to places that they aren't. Because that's the only way the culture grows. Imagine if everybody in the culture only did interviews within the podcast of the culture. You know what it'll be by? You know what it'll look like? Battle rap. Only within the culture. They only interview with people who talk battle rap. And you know what's happening to that? It's dying out. Because they only stick within the culture of battle rap. And then the money stops generating. Money can only go around a certain amount of times. Then people pull out and say, this is not lucrative, and they start leaving. You don't see battle rappers, what you did with, what's my man's in them? They had this part on the news up in New York, Vodafly. They was expanding a little bit. They was on the news. They was interviewing like Geechee Gotti and, you know, a couple of other battle rappers. So they was expanding outside the culture. They was on like local news. And then what happened? They shut that down a little bit. They was on Caffeine. Caffeine started putting money into it. Drake, because you label Drake as another person who going to other people to do interviews. Drake got Smack set up with Caffeine. They poured a lot of money into it. And you know what happened? They started taking advantage of the money that was coming. Started giving battle rappers 50, 60,000 for a battle when they were making 10, 15 before that. Do you know what happened? The money ran out. You know why the money ran out? Because again, only this certain amount of people within the battle rap culture heard about it, knew about it, and subscribed to it. They didn't put none of that money into marketing. They gave it to the talent or they put it in their own pockets. If they would have took that money from Caffeine and started mass marketing outside of the culture, they would have brought more eyes to the culture who would have become part of the culture. But because they got greedy and kept it inside and didn't think of the bigger plan, the bigger picture, like Loaded Lux say, the bigger picture, the big picture. Now it's collapsing in on itself. Not enough people know about it. So I would just say, man, if people would just stop trying to make the culture, a small thing, and let it grow, let it blossom, let it be what it is. That's what makes it successful. That's why it's successful now. The biggest reason hip hop is successful and the culture is successful now is because it grew out of just being raps and hip hop, right? It grew into being pop. Hip hop grew into being country. That's what sustains hip hop. When hip hop starts spilling into these other art forms and these other platforms, hip hop is now podcasts. That's the effect that hip hop needs. So to continue saying, yeah, you got to come to here, you got to come back to one of these hip hop platforms. No, hip hop is spilling over into those platforms and it's going to keep going. But there has to be somebody that's pushing and keep pushing and pushing. And Jay-Z has always been one of those. Kanye's always been one of those. So stop expecting hip hop to be contained to this small little thing. It's bigger than that. It's bigger than you. So when you keep saying we want to see you come back here to us, we are everywhere. Hip hop ain't just in your small side of Texas where you at. Hip hop is everywhere, so let it be everywhere. When Jay-Z goes to the GQ to do an interview, that's hip hop. If Jay-Z would have went to do an interview with Memphis Bleak, that's hip hop. It's all hip hop because Jay-Z is hip hop. I'm hip hop, you're hip hop. So in a world that evolves in all ways, make sure that your foundation is eternal love always. And I appreciate that you being here, listening to what I have to say with regard to this. Big Ant, an urban politician, no hard feelings. I just had to get my opinions out once I heard your opinion. So please like, subscribe, make a comment, and make sure to continue to Eli frequently. Peace.
Oh, yeah. Room's hazy, but your vibe is crystal clear. Got me thinking about a future, not just right here. They can see the way I'm looking, ain't no doubt. It's ELA,